Okay. Good morning, everyone. So, in continuation with the last, we were discussing about the type of doses. Okay, for that you see my video, type of doses from part 1. And now, today we'll discuss the liquid preparations. So, what are the various types of liquid preparations available as the dosage form? So, first is your oral solutions. So, oral solutions, they are the clear liquid preparations for the oral use containing one or the more active ingredients dissolved in a suitable vehicle. Right? So, it can be solutions means it is a homogeneous product. So, it can contain only one medicament or more than one medicament. Right? Then oral emulsions. So oral emulsions are stabilized oil in water dispersions, either or both phases of which may contain the dissolved solid. So oral emulsions are normally two types: oil in water and water in oil type of emulsion. Simple example is your castor oil emulsion, right, which is used as a laxative. So emulsion means it consists of the two parts which are immiscible with each other, right? So they are made miscible with the help of an emulsifying agent, right? So that are oral emulsions. Then oral suspensions. So suspensions are liquid preparations for the oral use. They containing one or more active ingredients which are suspended in a suitable vehicle. Okay. So in the emulsions, normally the two immiscible parts are liquids. In this suspension, one is solid and one is a liquid. Right? So oral suspension may show a sediment which is readily dispersed on shaking to give a uniform suspension which remains sufficiently stable to enable the correct dose to the delivered. So that means before taking that any suspension or emulsion, you have to shake the bottle before use. Right? If you shake the bottle before use, then the solid will be uniformly distributed in all the media, so that you can take out the uniform dose from that preparations. Right? Then next is the syrups. So it is a concentrated aqueous solution of a sugar. So usually it contains the sucrose. So normally, according to the IPU, if you see, so it contains 66.7% of sucrose, right? So according to the Indian Pharmacopoeia. So the flavored syrups are convenient form for masking the disagreeable taste. Means they are the sweet in taste, so that is naturally they are used for the masking disagreeable taste. Next is your elixir. So it is pleasantly flavored, clear liquid oral preparations of the potent or the nauseous drugs. Okay, so potent I told you in the we discussed in that first class. What are potent means? Potent means if the dose is less than 1 gram or it is less than 65 milligrams. So that drugs come to the class of the potent, like your codeine one example, diazepam. So these are the potent drugs. Nauseous means which produces the vomiting, like filling. So that is a nauseous substance, right? So the vehicle may contain a high proportion of ethanol or the sucrose together with the antimicrobial preservative, which confers the stability of the preparations. So it may contain high proportion of ethanol. Normally it contains 4 to 40% of the ethanol, okay, or the sucrose. So these are elixirs. Right? The next is your linctus. So linctus is normally are the viscous liquid oral preparations that are usually prescribed for the relief of the cough, right? So very many your formulations are available, okay? So which is used for the relief of the cough, right? So they usually contain a high proportion of syrup and glycerol, which have a demulcent effect on the membrane of the throat, right? So it contains a high proportion of syrup and glycerol, which has a demulcent. Demulcent effect means soothing effect. So that is a demulcent effect or soothing effect on the membrane of the throat, right? Because there is a irritation during the cough in the throat. So for the demulcent effect, we use that sugar or glycerol, and any medicaments which are cough suppressants, right, or expectorants. So the dose volume is small, that is 5 ml, and to prolong the demulcent action, they should be taken undiluted. So normally linters should not be diluted. Okay, so they should be taken undiluted, right? And one more precaution should be taken, that there should not be means you should not take any liquid or vehicle after taking the linters, right? For the prolonged action. So the next is your oral drops. So the oral drops are the liquid preparation for the oral use that are intended to be administered in the small volume with the aid of a suitable measuring device. They may be solution, suspension, or the emulsion. So normally oral drops are droppers, means it is used with the help of a dropper bottle, right? So it means many oral drops are available. So according to the drop, means if you give the 5 drops, the dose is according to the drops, right? Then gargles. So they are the aqueous solution used in the prevention or the treatment of the throat infections. Okay. So in Hindi we call it as garara. So these are prepared in a concentrated solution with the direction for the patient to dilute with the warm water before use. So okay, so these are available in the concentrated forms. So you have to dilute it, okay, and before use with the water, right? Then mouthwashes. So these are similar to gargles but are used for the oral hygiene and to treat the infection of the mouth, right? So means these are like similar to the gargles, right? But they are used for the means treatment of the hygiene and to treat the infection of the mouth. That is pyorrhea, that is bad breath. Okay, so bad breath, and they are used for the your antibacterial action in the mouth. Then next is we will come to the topical dosage forms. Okay, so ointments, these are commonly used dosage forms. So these are the semi-solid greasy preparation for application to the skin, rectum or the nasal mucosa. Okay, the base is usually anhydrous and it is immiscible with the skin secretions, right? It is normally anhydrous, and the different type of bases can be used, like your hydrocarbon bases are available, then your emulsified bases are available. Hydrocarbons means like your liquid paraffin, soft paraffin, hard paraffin. So these are the bases available. Okay, so ointments may be used as emollient or to apply suspended or dissolved medicament on the skin, right? So it may be used as an emollient or soothing action, or to apply suspended or dissolved medicament in the skin. So medicament may be dissolved in it or it may be suspended in it. Then coming to the creams, these are your actually basically commonly used. Your cold cream is one example, right? So creams are the semi-solid emulsions. That is the mixture of oil and water. So they are divided into the two types: oil in water type of creams and water in oil type of creams, right? So oil in water type creams means which are composed of a small droplet of oil dispersed in a continuous aqueous phase. So this is depicted as oil oblique water. So oil, means oil is in the internal phase and water is in the external phase or the aqueous. This is known as the continuous phase, right? This is dispersed phase and this is known as the continuous phase. So oil in water creams are more comfortable and cosmetically acceptable, as they are less greasy and more easily washed off with the water, because oil is in the your continuous phase or external phase, so it can be used washed easily with the water, right? So second is your water in oil creams, which are composed of your small droplets of water dispersed in a continuous oily phase, right? So one phase is your oil and another is the water. So it means it is showing that water is in the internal phase or dispersed phase and oil is in the continuous phase or the external phase, right? So these creams are more difficult to handle, but many drugs which are incorporated into the creams are hydrophobic and will be released more readily from the incorporated into the creams. And okay, so many hydrophobic drugs, they are incorporated in the creams and they are more easily removed if they are hydrophobic, right? So water and oil creams are also more moisturizing as they provide an oily barrier which reduces the water loss from the stratum corneum, the outermost layer of the skin. So this is the basic reason that we use as a cold cream, because it will retain the moisture in the skin, okay, and your skin will not get dry. So next form is your gels or jellies. So gels are semi-solid system in which a liquid phase is constrained within a 3D polymeric matrix, so consisting of natural or the synthetic gums, having a high degree of physical or chemical cross-linking. So they are normally used for the medication, lubrication, and some miscellaneous application like carrier for the spermicidal agent to be used intravaginally. So normally spermicidal gels are available, or it can be basically used for the lubrication, right? And poultice, next is the poultice. So it is a soft, viscous, pasty preparation for the external use. So they are applied to the skin while they are hot. So poultice must retain heat for a considerable time because they are intended to supply a warmth to a inflamed part of the body. Example is your Kyolin poultice. So basically poultice is a preparation that is heated and it is spread on the lint. Okay, it is spread on the lint, then it is applied on the inflamed or your swallowed part. So okay, it gives a warmth and it absorbs the inflammation, or it means reduces the inflammation from that part. Right? So next formulation is your paste. So paste are basically ointments into which a high percentage of insoluble solid has been added. So it normally contains 70 to 80% of the solid. So because of that, its porosity is increased. The porosity of paste is increased. So the extraordinary amount of the particular matter stiffens the system. So paste are less penetrating and less macerating and less hitting than the ointments. Less macerating and penetrating means, less macerating means normally the ointments form an occlusive layer on the skin. So because of that, the moisture is not evaporated from the skin. So for that, you can means if you apply the ointment, hydrocarbon ointment especially, so that can produce the warmth in the specific area where you have applied the ointment. Okay, because the moisture is not evaporating from that particular area, okay? And because of that, there may be water logging. Okay, water logging, or water can be accumulated at that point. So paste make particularly good protective barriers when placed in the skin. The solid they contain can absorb and therefore neutralize a certain noxious chemical before they ever reach the skin. So it acts as a protective barrier. So like ointments, paste form an unbroken, relatively water impermeable film. Unlike ointment, the film is opaque and therefore can be used as an effective sunblock accordingly. So it can be used as a sunblocker, right, as a sunscreen. So pastes are less greasy because of the absorption of the fluid hydrocarbons fraction in the particulate. Okay, so there are two types of paste are available. Okay, so fatty paste, the example is your Lysis paste, and non-greasy paste, example is your Vaseline paste. Right? Then next is your dusting powders. So dusting powders, these are the free-flowing, very fine powders for the external use. So they are not used on the open wounds unless the powders are sterilized. Right? So basically, two types of dusting powders are here available. One is your medicated dusting powder, and second one is your surgical dusting powder. So medicated dusting powders means they are free from the pathogenic microorganisms, right? And surgical dusting powders, they are sterilized before use because they are used in the cavities, right? So next, coming to the transdermal patches. A transdermal patch or skin patch is a medicated adhesive patch that is placed on the skin to deliver a specific dose of the medication through the skin and into the bloodstream. So an advantage of the transdermal drug delivery, a commonly used transdermal, you might have seen the nicotine patch, right? So that is the transdermal patch. Advantage of the transdermal drug delivery route over the other types such as oral, typical, is that it provides a controlled release of the medicament into the patient, right? So the first commercially available patch was scopolamine for the motion sickness. So now only nicotine patch is very commonly used. Okay, then plasters, topical. The plasters are solid or semi-solid masses adhere to the skin when spread upon cotton. Okay, it felt, you can see that is the plaster. Okay. Felt linen or your muslin as a backing material, and they are mainly used to for the protection and mechanical support, furnish and occlusive and macerating action, and bring the medication to the close contact with the surface of the skin. So this is a plaster. Then coming to next is liniments. So liniments are fluid, semi-fluid or occasionally semi-solid preparation intended for application to the skin. So they may be alcoholic or oily solution or emulsions, right? So most are massaged to the skin. Example is your counter irritant. Liniment should not be applied to the broken skin. So commonly used there for the their anti-inflammatory activity, right? The liniments are like your Iodex, these types of liniments are available. And one more is liniments are applied with the friction. Then lotions, so they are the fluid preparation aqueous for the external application, and they are used without friction. So common example is your calamine lotion, right? So they are either dabbed on the skin or applied on a suitable dressing, and they are converted into waterproof dressing to reduce the evaporation, right? So the normally calamine lotion, it is used, okay, for an antiseptic action, right? So next is your collidine. So collidine is a solution of the nitrocellulose in ether or the acetone, sometimes with the addition of the alcohols. So its generic name is pyroxolate solution. It is highly inflammable. As the solvent evaporates, it dries to the cellulose-like film. So compound wart remover consists of the acetic acid and salicylic acid in an acetone collidine base used in the treatment of warts by the keratolysis. So normally it is used in the treatment of the warts, okay, so by the action of the keratolysis. So then paints. So paints are the liquid for the application of the skin or the mucous membrane. So skin paints contains the volatile solvents that evaporates quickly to leave a dry resinous film of the medicament, right? So normally throat paints are more viscous due to the high content of the glycerol, so designed to prolong the contact of the medicament with the effective site. So normally throat paints or menthol paints contain the glycerol. So because of the viscosity is more, so it will be adhered for a longer period of the time. Okay. So rest we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.